Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Once again, my name is Brandon and I make reaction content here on YouTube. This channel is for music reactions. I also have one for TV and film. Just starting a Let's Play channel as well. Rocky start, but I'm working on it. I'm getting better at it, but I appreciate it if you go check it out. The links for those channels will be in the description down below. But for now, we're going to jump into another song, another recommendation by Michael. Thank you so much for jumping the line. So sorry once again. For some reason, man, it seems like every time you request a song, it just gets lost in the cracks. This has happened with you, I think, 3 times, and that's insane because it never happens. Like, I never do that. I don't know what's wrong, and it's crazy because the songs that you recommend always completely break me in half. They perform really well on YouTube. I enjoy the hell out of them, and they like I said, they hit me in my soul. So it's not like I'm not enjoying the songs, and it's not like they're not songs that I can promote, but it's just I don't know what it is. But I cannot tell you how sorry I am. I know you said it's fine, but it doesn't feel fine to me. It's not fine for me. I don't appreciate the fact that I've done that again. But we're gonna jump into it now. For Patreon, it's gonna go up now. I don't know when it'll make it to YouTube, but hopefully you'll get a chance to watch it over here. I'm not gonna try the name. It's this name. I'm not even gonna try. I'm just not. I've given up. I've stopped trying, but I'm certain it's going to be wonderful. The set from the first sort of image on YouTube, that as I have the video pulled up, looks incredibly dramatic, theatrical, maybe even a little operatic. I'm excited to see what we're going to get into. It has kind of a dark gothic look to it, so it looks really interesting. I know that it's going to be great. You've never let me down before, so I'm just going to jump into it. That is this artist that it's the artist that's in the title, singing The Sorrow of Love with English subtitles. I appreciate the subtitles. So yeah, let's just jump into it. Loving it already. Beautiful. Okay. I have no idea how his voice cut through all of that instrumentation. That was incredible. And I think this looks like the singer competition that I've seen before with different artists, and it fits because they did go all out with their productions every time I watch something from them. But I mean, that's incredible. Oh, it's been like 40 seconds of the song, and already I've gotten exposed to this massive range, this incredible performance technique, and just really great storytelling visually, and the instrumentation, the set design. And again, I don't know how his voice cut through all of those instruments, all of that noise. And I don't mean noise in a disrespectful way. It was beautiful, but there was so much happening. It was so big, electric and amped and distorted, and yet his voice matched the energy and just rang through, stayed the anchor. And that's incredibly impressive, that in the middle of all of that, he was able to hold down the core of it. And then that I don't know what to call it, but was it that little run, the vocalization that he let out as he was walking away from the stage. Normally, I think I've mentioned this before in other performances, I would mention that you never want to be walking you never want to be with your back to the audience, certainly not walking away while delivering lines or lyrics. Now, this wasn't that. There were no lyrics, but there was something else. As he was walking away, it fit the narrative. The lyrics up to this point, leading to that big climactic moment after the "I love you," the coming like a whisper, was beautifully put. I hope the translation's good. And as he's walking away, it did something for the story. Like, it matched the story. It created a sense of distance. There's a sense of longing and a sense of almost hopelessness. And as he's walking away and he's giving that vocalization and no words, no lyrics. I think if there were lyrics, it might not have worked as well. But he's just vocalizing and sort of expressing the emotion through sound, not words, just an expression, just a vocalization. I think that for me in that moment worked so well. And it's one of the instances where you can point at it and say that the rules aren't necessarily ironclad. You don't have to follow them all the time. You have to know them and you have to understand them before you can break them. But there are times when you can break the rules. There are times when you can go against the convention and express things in a unique way, in a creative way, and it can really work in your favor. And this is definitely one of those times. That was a very, very good moment. I thought it was an interesting moment. It really communicated that sense of, I don't want to say desperation, but again, I think that the word I used before, I think it was hopelessness, a sense of an inevitable loss is a good way to put it. I just think that it did a really good job of communicating a very specific message. And if it wasn't his intention, then it wasn't his intention, but it worked really well for me and it got me to a certain place narratively. And I think that was really impressive. It was bold and creative. And I'm repeating myself now, so I'm just going to get back to it. That grit in his voice. Wow. The vibrato on the top there was incredible. That control is insane.
거리엔 흰눈이 쌓이고 내 가슴엔 사랑의 슬픔이 그대 가슴 안에 흩어져 버린 눈꽃이 되어
Wow. Wow.
감사합니다. 인플라잉 보컬 유승했습니다.
So that was the artist named in the title. I'm not even going to try it, but there were so many things happening. There were moments, I think I mentioned it, when there was such an intensity in his voice. Again, I feel like there were times when he maybe, for a novice or a beginning singer, you would not recommend doing things the way he did it in a place or two vocally, because it could develop bad habits, or it could, if you don't know how to do it well, if you don't know your voice well enough, if you've not mastered that area of your voice and you're not aware enough, you could hurt yourself. There were some moments where through the emotion of it, he was straining, or he's putting so much energy behind it that it felt like it was pushing the boundaries of his vocal cords. Now, the notes that I'm thinking of, considering what I heard, weren't near his boundaries at all. It was all choices made to convey the emotion, to communicate the story. And in that sense, and in that way, with someone who's obviously as accomplished as he is, I don't know that you can complain. I think that, again, if you're talking to a singer who's learning, growing, someone who's younger, who hasn't quite mastered their voice the way this guy has, you would probably encourage them to try something different. But because, and this is one of the things I love about singers who are so dedicated to their craft and work so hard on developing their voice and learning their instrument, and gaining control over all of the small little movements and pushes and pulls of their body, the vocal tract, their chords, their larynx, all of that area, because then it allows them to push those limits and really strain the again, convention, strain the norm, the rules, and deliver some performances that are truly remarkable. Because when you're dealing with emotions this extreme, you're not going to always be in control. Now, he was in control the entire time, but he was able to communicate the size of the emotions that he was feeling by pushing those boundaries and going controlled, going beyond the standard line where you would expect control to end. And he was able to push those limits and push those boundaries and create tension in his voice intentionally in ways that really drove home the immense grief that he was feeling. It was beautiful. It was really beautiful. Once again, Michael, you have blown me away with your recommendation, with your suggestion. I'm so sorry it took me so long to get to it, but I do not regret having listened to it. I'm so sorry that I didn't listen to it sooner. That was incredible. I hope you enjoy this reaction. I certainly did. Thank you so much for suggesting it, for recommending it, for purchasing the Jump the Line for it. Your support, all of your support here on Patreon, and those of you who jumped the line for requests, really means the world to me. Thank you so much for your continued show of generosity and grace for me. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I'm going to need a minute to sort of let that resonate, because I'm still kind of like, my feelings are humming, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to take that time. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. You've been here, you know how it works. Check out my other channels. Check out the Patreon if you're interested in getting things like this sooner than normal. If you're looking for full-length TV and film reactions, you can find them over on the channel, most of them with picture-in-picture. If not, I'll give you a 3, 2, 1 countdown. You sync up your own copy and we'll watch it together. But all that being said, I'm kind of breezing through this because I'm not entirely present. So I'll just say thank you so much for being here one more time. Please remember, as always, to be kind to each other. And most importantly, be kind to yourself.